A lot changes in 12 months, like a lot. If I'm sounding a little bit husky, friends, it's because I am recording this on a Sunday morning at 6:25 a.m. And the reason I'm doing that is because I was just really inspired. Like, I've woken up thinking about this and I've thrown out the plan and I'm going with this today because honestly, there's a lot of BS going around in all industries, but very much in our industry. And I see it because I talk to studio owners in my line of work all the time. And, I'm not saying that it's not hard out there. It is totally hard. But I think what we're forgetting is that a lot changes in 12 months in your life. Like, think about where you were 12 months ago to now. But what we're not doing and we're not seeing in our industry is people adapting to the new norm, which is that, having 5-year business plans is really hard, really hard to even fathom in this technology age, in this fast moving age. I mean, think about what your plan would have looked like 5 years ago to now. With the introduction of all of these tools like AI and etc., it's really hard to navigate the world of business. But I want to simplify it in this episode because I truly believe that you can fill your classes in 2026, but you need to cut the BS to do it. I'm going to talk about some of the BS stories you might be telling yourself and some of the things that I'm hearing from industry friends and colleagues and clients, and that at the end of the day, the gurus will tell you all the things you should be doing, but I think we've been misled, friends. And what worked for you a year ago, even 6 months ago, doesn't necessarily work for you now. Let's talk about that. I'm Josephine Lancuba. Welcome to Studio Talent Collective, the podcast for dance and performing arts studio owners. Let's leap in. Well, welcome to the show, friends. Today I am talking about how the landscape of, online marketing and marketing in general when it comes to your studio business has really changed. We're going to talk about filling up your classes for 2026 and cutting the BS. Here are some of the BS stories that you may be telling yourself. AI is a replacement to any personal touch when it comes to onboarding your students, onboarding new clients, enrollments, and retaining your students. AI is a great tool. I use it often, but I don't use it to replace personal connection. I would say that it is a tool to help me fast track some of the things that I'm putting together, or actually, to be honest, more than that, to be a strategy buddy. So if I have a concept, I'll plug it into AI, I'll type it in and go, hey, I'm thinking of doing this and that, and these are the concepts and ideas. Can you summarize that? Great. It gives me a summary of that concept. And then I go, okay, now I want to come up with a strategy on how to actually roll this out and blah, 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 timeline it, etc. And it'll help me tweak concepts and ideas and strategies. It's basically a great strategist partner. But what we're seeing in the studio space, I actually spoke to a studio owner and I won't forget this conversation. A year ago, I was having a coaching call with a studio owner and I was talking about how they were talking about how their businesses dropped and all the things, but at the same time, it correlated to when they went completely digital with their enrollment process. I said, okay, are you picking up the phone and calling people? Oh, no one answers anymore. Okay. I'm like, all right, so is there any personal touch in this process? No. Oh, no. We've completely automated. Like, don't be ridiculous. Completely automated. Okay, cool. Fast forward 12 months, they've lost one of, their sites and their business has dropped considerably. What that tells me is that going completely automated on the enrollment process, though automation is fantastic and can be supporting your time and your business, complete automation without any personal touch can actually lose you customers, especially in a business like studio ownership, because people are entrusting you with their kids, with their creative life, which is a personal thing to many. And when you completely automate the process and you take away any personalization, like phone call, personal text message that doesn't have an automated, that isn't just automated, a personal email sent from your Gmail, not just from your big database send out that, they've seen a million times before. When you start doing different things, or you send a video message via text, yes, a personalized video message via text going, hey, how's it going? I noticed that you guys didn't show up to the enrollment. It's Jo here. I'm the director of XYZ. Just wanted to check in if, little Johnny's going to be coming along next week instead. Happy to reschedule that for you. Anyway, just feel free to message me back or give me a call. Thanks. When you take that extra 30 seconds to do that thing, you will see an improvement in your conversions. Personal touch. Okay, so video messaging, picking up the phone, sending a personal text, not just dropping a block text. Obviously, block text is super helpful for group reminders and stuff. But when you're trying to follow up on those people that have either engaged with you, not shown up, etc., you gotta step over the line of automation and you gotta get personal. Okay, what do you think about that? Yes, of course, if you've got 100 people trialing in a week or something, you're going to send automated reminders and stuff, without a doubt. But there needs to be more personalization after the fact. Okay? If you're noticing that you're not retaining studios, so you're like, I've sent out 10 emails and 6 group texts, and I posted in the Facebook group. And it's weird because Olivia was with us for 4 years and she hasn't returned back. And we haven't heard from her. She hasn't paid her enrollment fee. And I don't understand what's happening. Pick up the phone. Yeah? An excuse that I've heard is people don't answer their phone anymore. You know what? Probably not wrong. They don't answer their phone like they used to. But they do. They do answer their phone. It might take 3 calls over a few days. It might take a spreadsheet strategy where you're logging when you last contacted them and you're doing different follow-ups and you're strategically pipelining how you're following up those leads. Might take some effort, some diligence, some strategy, some follow-through, but they do pick up their phone. And if they don't, do you know what I do? Send a text. Hey, tried to call you with, Johnny, just tried to call you with no luck. I'm just checking in to see how your trial went and if you'll be returning next week. Feel free to give me a call back or just shoot me a text if you're busy. When you personalize it like that, not just a bulk text, it's Dynamic Dance Studios here. Thank you for trialing an XYZ. Please respond. You can unsubscribe by replying no to exit these bulk text messages at the bottom. That message doesn't cut through the way hey, Johnny, thanks so much for coming in last week. We really appreciated you, blah, blah, blah. Looks like you did great. Just wanted to know, I tried to call you with no luck. Just wanted to know if you're wanting to, come back again next week and enroll. That's it. Shoot me a text back if you're busy or feel free to give me a call. When you do that, you're cutting through the noise of automation and generic. Because you'll notice with content, even these days, AI content, generic. Yeah. Unless you're a social media marketing editing specialist, if you're just the average Joe Blow putting together content and you start using AI tools and doing content for the sake of content, it's just generic. I call it Like, it's just AI rubbish. Yeah. Now, I use AI to chop up videos. I use a tool called Opus to chop up my podcast videos, for example. So I'll dump a 1 hour video that I did, like an interview, into Opus. It'll chop it up into 30 clips, give me the captions, give me the things, and I can click in and choose which videos I'm going to use. Brilliant. Time saver. Love it. I still check the videos, have to do some like tiny edits in the, the captions sometimes or whatever, and then use it. But it's saved me hours of time, no doubt. It saves me time. But I'm very mindful not to do that on all of my social media when it comes to, just pumping out content for the sake of content. I think, and I want to be clear, I'm not saying don't use AI. I'm not saying don't post your social media. Absolutely. But if you want to fill your classes in 2026, you need to do more than post on social media. We've been told a story, one that I believed, but I don't believe it to be true anymore. And that is, you have to be on all the social media platforms posting, You got to do all the things on social media to have a successful business. Okay. Social media is now a discovery platform more than a conversion platform. Doesn't mean you can't convert. It's just harder. It takes longer. It needs a lot of power or interesting content, right? To convert. But really, it's a discovery platform now. So we want to use that because we want to be discovered. But then there needs to be other things with more grit. And what that is called sales. People think that sales and marketing is one and the same. The gurus have told us that you need to be on social media 24/7, doing all the things, all the platforms, YouTube, TikTok, blah, 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 woo. And if you're not going to have a successful business. What I know to be true is in 2025, last year, I doubled my revenue. And it's because I implemented a sales workroom day. And this is where, because I used to have, focused blocked hours for social media, focused blocked hours for marketing, focused blocked hours for content creation. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I don't have focused blocked hours in my week for sales. And sales is everything. This is when you sit down with your leads list or your marketing strategy and you implement it and you contact the people. You schedule the emails, you make phone calls, go through your list, you literally pick up the phone, you send a text message, you create a video message to the people that all trialed and blah, blah. Like you're actually following up. You're following up and you don't just do it once, you do it every week, and you do it every week for, let's say, 4 weeks. And if they're non-responsive after 4 weeks, then you can maybe, mark that line on the leads list as, right, non-responsive. But if they are on your leads list because they've contacted you, they've engaged with you, they should be on your database. So they should be getting, the weekly newsletter or the monthly newsletter. Monthly at a stretch. I do weekly. So, I think we need to start thinking about sales, not just throwing spaghetti on a wall and seeing what sticks on social media. Okay, so if you want to fill your class in 2026, we need to let go of the idea that social media is king, AI is king, automation is everything. What we need to start thinking is that these things, these parts of, Instagram, all of that, these are simply a part of your whole strategy view. It's not one thing, it's all the things. Do you have a way of tracking your leads? What I mean is every time someone sends you a DM on socials, every time someone sends you an email, every time someone rings you and inquires about your business, sends a contact form on your website, every time someone contacts you, do you have a record of that? And do you follow them up strategically every week with different methods and strategies to get results? If you've answered no to that, then you're not selling, not to your fullest capacity. If you're still relying on word of mouth as a sole strategy in 2026, your business will die. Now, word of mouth is a beautiful thing. And I've actually, over a year ago now, I did a whole episode called Word of Mouth is a Strategy, is not a strategy on its own, or something like that. Because even with word of mouth, you kind of have to get the people to spread the word. So you have to seed how they're telling people. The word of mouth can be seeded. Like, hey everyone, here's a flyer to bring to your best friend at school. Hey guys, we're doing a little online, tag and share week this week. And we've got some fun props out in the foyer. And we want you to tag the studio and share this on social media. And then we're going to feature you as the face of, XYZ Studios, like whatever. The winner is going to be XYZ, something. Doesn't even have to be a money prize. It can be something that's free, recognition, featured in our newsletter. I think what we're missing here is creativity and a long-term strategy approach. Let's talk about that. How can we achieve a more long-term strategy approach? WTD studio owners, you could win $1,000 worth of costumes on World Tutu Day. That's something worth celebrating. Now, I have done a collaboration here at Studio Talent Collective with Flair Dancewear in Australia, where you could win $1,000 worth of costumes, tutus, whatever you choose from their catalogue, and it's all yours. All you have to do is enter to win. Head to studiotalentcollective.com/WTD. Link is in the show notes. Now, for anyone that's listened to the show before or for a long time, you will know that I love to plan, annual planning, quarterly planning. I don't do the big 5-year plans anymore. I mean, I have dreams and visions for the future, of course. But really, I work to a 1-year plan and a 90-day plan because the market changes so quickly now, doesn't it? I mean, I thought 5 years ago I would have a very different looking business than what I have today. It's completely flipped. And that's okay. But yes, I just think it's super important that we stay focused on the year ahead. And the way I do that is I first put down the key moments of the year. So for a studio example, it'll be, when you have your concerts, your performances, your competitions, and those sorts of events. But then likewise, what I also do is I think about moments to market my business. I'm going to just say things like Easter, Valentine's Day, World Tutu Day, for example. And so when I think about those key moments and events in the year that are relevant to my business, end of financial year sale, You could be selling your merch in July. Like whatever these key moments are that you want to basically do a campaign around, a marketing and sales campaign. So you go, okay, cool, we've mapped out the events, but have you mapped out your campaigns and key marketing moments? That is the next thing I want you to do. Okay, enrollment season, February, what are we doing? July, end of financial year, what are we selling? Easter, how can we draw a crowd in? School holiday workshop, got it. Let's put that in the calendar as a sale opportunity. If you have an in-house talent agency, booking in those photo shoots for the year. Okay, great. We're going to run 2 to 3 photo shoots in 2026. Let's schedule them in now. Okay, fantastic. We're going to run a Christmas campaign for enrollments for the new year. Perfect. We've lined it up. We've got our October Halloween special. Perfect. So now we've got these key marketing campaign moments. We know what the focus is. It's World Tutu Day. And we're going to, like I've just said in the break, I'm doing a collaboration with a brand. Now, the reason with Flare Dance Wear, and the reason I knew that was coming was because in October last year, I did an annual plan. I looked at some of the fun key dates of the year, and I picked World Tutu Day as an opportunity to run a competition. Maybe you can do a tutu giveaway inside of your studio, whatever. But you get my point. Look at those key moments. It could be your anniversary, your birthday, your studio's birthday. It could be your personal birthday. Celebrate Director Joe's birthday with us today by bringing a friend in for free, whatever. So now you add those campaigns and marketing moments onto the annual calendar like you would any event. Those sales opportunities, those photo shoots, those workshops, they are added to your calendar. They are just as important as the concert and the Eisteddfod or the competition, okay, the dance comp. All of this is just as important. And then this is where 90-day planning is beautiful. This is when then you get your 90-day planner out and you say, okay, now what am I going to do in this quarter, this 3 months, to achieve what's coming up or what is now happening in my annual plan? And the annual plan is really simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate it. You literally, I'm going to flick you to an episode actually to help you out. But basically when it comes to planning, all you need to do is keep it really simple. Literally just the month and the key moments. Yeah, that'll be enough. That'll be enough. So yeah, just keeping on track. I want you to think about those moments, and then I want you to come up with creative concepts or things you've tried before that have worked really well, or things that you've wanted to try that haven't tried yet. Marketing concepts. And then I want you to follow through with a sales strategy where you block out some time each week. So let's just say you're going to do an Easter campaign. That's in your calendar. All right. We know it's the end of term 1 around Easter and term 2 is about to start. Let's try and engage new students in term 2. What can we do? Okay, let's think. It's Easter. Let's run an Easter campaign. We'll run an Easter egg hunt competition online, right? And whatever that looks like, it could be, each day you've got a bunny mascot coming live on socials, and this is all in your emails too. Don't just rely on socials. And you have to, in the comments, the bunny, I'm making this up on the spot. This is where my brain goes. The bunny's holding a coloured Easter egg each day for 12 days or for 3 days. And how to enter is you just have to comment below the colour of the Easter egg for 3 days straight on your socials. And that's it. It could be that. The Easter egg hunt is on. What color will the Easter egg be? All you have to do is go to Instagram and go to, our Instagram live at 1 p.m. each day on these days and tell us in the comments or whatever, what color is the Easter egg? Okay, that's it. And then they've entered and they get a free term of dance for one program. You get this high engagement. Like, be fun, get creative. Don't just think outside the box. I think we get so stuck. Now, if you're going to do the Easter egg hunt, you want to do that in your newsletter. You want to feed it to your Facebook groups. You want to, message your peeps, let everyone in the studio know, run flyers, get, collaborators. Which of your students have a high following? See if they'll be collaborators with you on these things. Get the people involved. Talk to them. Yeah, have the Easter Bunny in your studio hopping into the class with the students. Make it fun. I don't know why. I just thought of the Easter Bunny mascot because I've actually used to have, when I had my studio for over 10 years, we had an Easter Bunny costume and the Easter Bunny used to come into the studio every year and it was super fun. But so much. I'm going to go on a little tangent here, so much so that my daughter absolutely fell in love with the Easter Bunny and she wanted a bunny-themed birthday party when she was like in kindergarten or year one, when she was little. And she's like a November baby, but she wanted an Easter Bunny party. So I got my husband to put on the Easter Bunny suit and hop in with all her friends and give out treats in a basket. And they were like freaking out. They're like, oh my God, is that your dad? Is that? And they were chasing him around the house. It was really funny. We were cracking up, but it was so fun. And then she had like little like bunnies and carrots on her cake and stuff. It was super cute. Anyway, the things you can do when their kids are little, right? Now she'd be like, that would be, oh, Mum, that's cringe. Or what does she say? Oh, Mum, that's zesty. That's what she says. Now it would be zesty, right? But anyway, I digress. My point is, have some fun. All right, let's go back. We're going to fill our classes in 2026. We're going to drop the BS. The BS is that you post on social media every day, no one's buying. Of course they're not buying because that's just a discovery platform now. Now we want to convert to sales. Yes, we can have call to actions on our social media, but we need more than that. We need to pick up the phone. We need to have a leads list. We need to track our leads. Every time someone comes in, it's marked. Does that require discipline? Yes. Yes, it does. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Okay. We're going to create a leads list. If you're doing meta ads and you're getting leads, add them to your leads list. Always write down where the lead came from. Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, email, website contact form. Like, have categories. Always have a column for where they came from so you never miss them. Do you know why this is important? I actually had someone just join Studio Talent Collective this week. And I had them on my leads list and I followed them up. And it was through Facebook Messenger. And then it took 6 months later, they purchased. It took them 6 months to become a customer. But guess what? They were added to my database because they were a lead. They were in my database, so they were getting the newsletter. They got sporadically, they would get an email follow-up. They would get a Facebook Messenger follow-up, rather. I would send them a message saying, hey, just checking in if you're still interested. Here's my email address, yada, yada. And so we were having conversations. If I never recorded it and if they just dropped into my inbox, would they have become my customer? Maybe not. You got to follow the leads. Keep a leads list, yeah? So, all right, so we keep tracking our metrics. We're going to create an annual plan, yeah? And it can be a one-page document. I actually do have this, and I'm going to drop this at the end. An episode where I talk about annual planning and where you can get my free annual planner and all that jazz. Actually, I'll just drop that in the... Oh, look, you know what? I'm going to drop it here. So I'll drop that in the show notes. You can get my planner in the comments too. In the show notes. Annual planner and quarterly planner, free download. I'll give it to you. in the show notes, guys. So just head to the link there. So you're going to create an annual plan. You're going to map out it's basically an annual project plan. You're just going to map out the major events of the year. Then you're going to go to your 90-day plan and you're going to go, right, what are we going to do how are we going to achieve this? How are we going to actually achieve this? All right, so if I've got the Easter egg, hunt campaign happening in April, then I'm going to start marketing it in March, which means it needs to be in this quarter's annual plan. We're going to do a 4-week lead-in, and we're going to get people registering via our website, or we're going to get people following us over here. Follow social so you don't miss out. We're going to seed it through our content. We're going to seed it through our newsletter. We're going to seed it through our Instagram lives. We're going to seed it through our studio. We're going to put flyers in our studio. We're going to give it to friends. Whatever. Don't underestimate old school marketing too, by the way. If we're performing live at an event, we're going to talk about it on stage at the local festival. We're going to have QR codes at the local festival where people can follow us on socials and enter the Easter egg hunt campaign, the Easter egg hunt, whatever. I'm really going down a rabbit hole here. I'm so excited by this concept. You never know. I might just do it myself. Now, no, I've already mapped out everything. I've got lots going on. I'm like all over freaking everywhere for this year. So not in a bad way, in a totally good way, in a strategic way, but it's bloody busy. So yeah, no, we won't be adding that. It's all yours. Get creative. Think outside the box and stop listening to the gurus that tell you if you're not on AI, if you're not using AI in this way or buying our AI program, you're going to lose. You don't need to buy AI. You don't need to buy programs to plug in cues for AI prompts. It's like you just type it in and it will tell you the thing. And all I do to keep my AI clean and separate is I call them threads, and I'm sure that's not the real word, but who cares? You know how you can start a new topic on ChatGPT? I just make sure that I headline each topic and I keep it consistent. Like if I'm trying to strategize how I'm going to, promote the green room offer, I have a green room thread in my ChatGPT. So every time I think about that topic or want to brainstorm or go, I do it there. If I need support in podcast strategy, I have a podcast strategy thread, topic subject line in my left-hand column of ChatGPT. And every time I go to talk about podcast strategy, I click in there. It's because then it remembers me. It remembers the discussion and it knows exactly from past conversations and the evolution. So all you have to do is just keep these little topic threads on the left-hand side. Make sure you label them well and just keep clicking back. So if it's like you have different marketing strategies for different cohorts in your business, like new students is one thing and retention is another. You want to attract people into your workshops. You can have a workshop concepts folder, things like that. So that just keeps your AI super clean. Clean enough. And yeah, can you build a bot and you can do it? Like, I don't build bots, I'm not interested in building a bot, and I'm sure it's awesome. And anyone that's like an AI lover is probably going, oh my God, you don't even know what you're missing out on. You could be triple Xing your business right now. I 2X'd my business last year. I don't even pay for ChatGPT. I still use a free version. Okay. I 2X'd my business last year. Simply, actually more than, but anyway, by using it as a tool, by showing up on social media as best I could, by focusing on personal touch with my clients and picking up the phone, by, having a sales workroom day. That was an implementation last year where I literally spend a 3-hour block selling to my leads list. Yeah. And it's not like sleazy. Sales aren't sleazy or horrible. People contacted you because they were interested. It's your obligation to follow up with them. It's your obligation to support them in what they need and want. Isn't that why we're in business? to help the community that wants our services. There's nothing sleazy or salesy or dirty about that. And obviously there'll come a point where they just not reactive, like you do it a certain amount of times, and then they're like, and you're like, okay, cool. Funnily enough though, I've had that many times because people are just so busy these days. And again, it's that information overload, right? Like, I've got people interested in something like, oh my God, I didn't even open the email, but I actually do want the thing. And I know you sent me that thing like 3 months ago. So give people a chance. That's why it's important to pop them into your mailing list as well and have them as part of that. Because, you know, then they actually get those updates from you and they can opt out. They can opt out whenever they want, you know. Of course they can. You want them to opt out if they're not interested in what you have to say or share. But yeah, just be mindful of that. You know, it's more than what the tech and social media gurus are telling us, and people are craving connection more than ever now. That's why this year, my strategy, I'm not doing any ads on Meta this year. I know, right? Ooh, you're going to be like, what? I'm not doing any ads. My whole strategy this year is being in the room. I'm going to be at all the expos. I'm going to be speaking at events. I'm guesting on podcasts. I'm just having real conversations and I'm being in the room with my peeps. That's it. That's the strategy this year. So think differently, be creative, and just be bold in your choices. You know, track those metrics. Make sure you're writing down in a spreadsheet or wherever you pipeline those sorts of leads. If you have software, great. If you don't, that's cool. I still use a spreadsheet, whatevs. You know, make sure that you're tracking that as people come in. Take time each week to block out and delegate some time to the actual sales. It keeps you so super focused too, you know, and if you can't do it, then get someone in your team to do it. Someone's got to do it. Can't not be done is what I'm saying. When I had my studio, we had someone on 3 days a week. That was purely focused on responding to inquiries and follow-ups and retention. And they would do 3 half days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So no one was ever left more than 48 hours, basically. Everyone was always followed up. And no inquiry was left unresponded to. Yeah? So that's a very important task. Also, remember to do the annual plan, but also do the 90-day plan, and always reflect on the annual plan to make sure that you're really doing the work to move the needle of what you've created on the plan. I promise you, if you do everything you say you're going to do, if you map out your marketing, your events, your sales opportunities, your school holiday workshops, all the things, if you do all of that and you map that out, and then you have 90 days where you are strategically working towards the goalposts on that annual plan, and you are implementing, you are doing, you have put time aside to do the work. Now remember, a sales workroom block is not content creation. That is a separate workroom. They are 2 separate things, and I want you to understand that. Creating a reel, spending 1 hour doing a reel is not sales. It is part of your strategy. It is not the whole strategy. Spending 20 hours a week on creating social media content when you're a one-man band is literally going to kill your business. If you have resources and team, great. If that is someone's job, awesome. If you are spending 20 hours a week creating content, but you do not have any time in your week for sales and looking after your current customers and being creative and working on the business, if you don't even have time to sit down and create the annual plan or work the 90-day plan, you've got a fundamental problem with your structure. you need to spend less time on socials and get more savvy with that. Like, instead of like curated content, literally talking heads, show up on camera, talking head, 1 minute. Hey guys, it's blah, blah, blah here. I just wanted to let you know the 3 ways to, stretch before a class. Okay, here we go. Run back on the camera. Stretch 1, great for this. Stretch 2, great for that. Perfect. All right, thanks guys for watching. See you in class. Boom. Right? No makeup, throw your hair up, wearing a uniform. If that's the kind of content you're going to create if you're a one-man band. You're not going to sit there and you're not going to be like editing like for real for 2 hours and this like waste of time. In 2026, where people want less curated, beautiful content, waste of time. Now, if you got team, if you got support, sure, fun, awesome. That's a great add-on. But the work is in sales. Sending those personal emails, sending those video messages, calling people, texting them, following leads, finding new ways to get leads, running the campaigns on your annual project planner, executing your marketing strategy, and then following through with the people that connect with you. Sending a DM to the person that followed you, thanking them for following you, and if they need any help, let you know. Are they looking for classes, or are they just following because they love the content? Ask a question. Get strategic. That's it. That's all I have to say. I think we're being fed a big fat lie right now on social media. And I actually was in a women's business networking group the other day with a social media strategist who said, I have seen too many women's businesses fail in the last 12 months because they spent 25 hours plus a week on creating content. And that's coming from a social media strategist. And that's her job. She sells how to create social media for your business. And she said that has been the fall of many women in business because we've all swallowed the Kool-Aid that we need to be spending part-time, full-time hours on our social media. It is only one part of the whole story. So if you want to fill your classes in 2026, absolutely use AI, absolutely be on social media, but also think about all the other parts to grow your business, because it is not one thing, it is all the things. Now, don't forget in the comments, I keep saying in the comments, in the show notes, friends. In the show notes, I've got that free download for you. So do grab that. If you grab the link there. And I've also got the competition entry so that you can win $1,000 worth of costumes for your studio business. Okay? Make sure you head to those links, enter the competition, and also grab my free annual and 90-day planner. There you go. Rock and roll, friends. Let's get into 2026 and fill those classes by dropping the BS. Drop the BS stories that people have told you, that you're telling yourself that you can't do it, that it's too loud out there, it's too noisy, it's impossible, yada, yada. You don't forget retention is part of the story too. Have a retention strategy. Are you upselling to the people already in the room? And I mean, again, did you just flick an email and say, hey, did you know we have Tap After Jazz? Join Tap too. Or did you actually have a strategy? Did you call little Johnny's mum and say, hey, I noticed that you guys are in jazz again this year. I'm just letting you know that Tap it actually backs off on the jazz class. Would you like a 1 month free class pass to our Tap class? Try it out for a month, obligation free. And if you love it, sure, we can enroll and waive those 4 weeks of tuition for you. Do you want me to book you in? Hear what I'm saying to you? Upselling is just as important. Those class placements, retention, have a strategy. Yeah, put it on your plan. Go for it. Yeah, I'm feeling it. 2026. We have arrived, friends. We have arrived. Before you go, remember, $1,000 worth of costumes is as good as cash in your business. To enter the competition to win $1,000 worth of costumes, you do need to be an Australian registered business. Head to studiotalentcollective.com/WTD. That's for World Tutu Day. And you can also find the link in the show notes, friends. So yeah, make sure you jump in and register now for the competition. Thank you. Bye. This show is brought to you by Studio Talent Collective, a plug-and-play talent agency helping studio owners become confident talent managers and build their own in-house talent agencies. Find out more at studiotalentcollective.com or connect with me on socials at Studio Talent Collective. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate it or leave a review. Thanks for listening.